Your state finalists are as follows in Class A. Jeff Jokerst of Ralston, 23-1, a senior, meets Tyrone Martinez, 33-1, a senior. In Class B, Levi Stutzman, 17-0, an undefeated junior from Schuyler. It's Joe Ledesma of Boys Town, 27-1, a junior, his opponent. In Class C, Joe Strode, 24-5, a senior from Lincoln Christian. His opponent will be Glyn, Schopen, a 26-4 senior from Bennington. And in Class D, Justin Bowers, 31-1, a junior from Winside, faces two-time state champion Kris Mays, unbeaten senior, 30-0 from Amherst. Probably our key matchup in Class D. Mays just has been outstanding. He won last year at 119, was second to Eric Allgood of Bennington at 112 and 95, won the state championship at 103, so two-time state champion. But Justin Bowers will be a formidable opponent.
Individual-wise, I'd say Kris Mays is the individual to watch in this matchup, but I think the best match in this weight class is probably going to be Class A at 125 pounds. Between Tyrone Martinez of Papillion La Vista and Jeff Jokerst of Ralston. These two met up earlier in the year at the Millard West Invitational, 4-4, double overtime. And Jeff Jokerst able to pull out the victory there. And
Jokerst will be a four-time medalist as well. He was a state runner-up last year, and he had unfortunate to meet David Miller of Kearney, who we'll be talking a lot about later on. Miller probably the outstanding wrestler here, and he's just a junior, but that's who Jokerst had to meet last year. And then he placed fifth 2 years ago and fifth also 3 years ago. So Jokerst a four-time medalist, but as you mentioned, Tyrone Martinez, a very formidable opponent at 33-1.
That's right. He's one of the first of a couple of brothers we're going to see today in a couple different weight classes. There's some brothers in the finals, and his brother Carlos is wrestling for Papillion La Vista in the finals at 135 pounds.
And in Class B,
Kris Mays in trouble.
And Mays right away finding himself toward his back with Justin Bowers of Winside trying to get the upset in the win. What a win this would be for Bowers, coming in ranked number 3 against the two-time state champion. Ranked number 1 is Mays. There's about a minute left in that match, and he has the 2-0 lead with the takedown. He'll get back points as well.
He's got that cradle really tight, and there's a lot of time left. I think he's going to get the fall out of this.
Well, what a win that would be for Bowers. Bowers doing everything he can, but now it looks like Mays has wriggled out of it. And that will give Bowers a 5-0 lead when he gets the 3 back points.
A 5-0 lead early is really tough to come back on. Class B is going to be a good matchup, too, between Levi Stutzman. He's a returning state champ trying to win his second title. Wrestling against Joe Ledesma of Boys Town. Ledesma 26-1, Stutzman 17-0. Ledesma's only loss to Levi Stutzman.
And again, ranked number 1 and number 2. So we have 2 1 and 2 matchups here at 125 pounds. We have a stoppage right now in Class C. It looks like they're taking a look at Joe Strode of Lincoln Christian. I think Joe has had some shoulder problems.
A little scramble on the edge in Class A. No points awarded.
So no points in 3 of our matches. The only points so far are coming from Justin Bowers of Winside, who leads at 5-0 over Kris Mays of Amherst in a bit of a surprise right now in Class D. Again, Bowers in the red, white striped singlet. Mays with the black and red singlet. As we take a look at Class C, still no score between Joe Strode of Lincoln Christian and Glyn Schopen of Bennington. In Class A, no score between Jeff Jokerst of Ralston and Tyrone Martinez of Papillion La Vista. And in Class B, still no score between Levi Stutzman of Schuyler and Joe Ledesma of Boys Town.
We're gonna get an escape for Kris Mays of Amherst in the D match, and 1 point for locking hands. That makes the score 5-2 at the end, just as the end of the first period winds down. That at least gets him a little bit more closer and a little bit back into the match.
Again in class.
And a 2-point takedown awarded right at the buzzer for Kris Mays. Now it's 5-4. We got a brand new match in Class D.
Again, Kris Mays from Amherst, a 30-0 senior. Justin Bowers, 31-1, a junior from Winside. In Class C, Joe Strode of Lincoln Christian, 24-5, a senior, facing Glyn Schopen of Bennington, 26-4 senior. And it's a 2-0 lead right now for Schopen of Bennington. Schopen on the bottom. It looks like he'll get an escape, and now goes up 3-0 on Lincoln Christian's Joe Strode. In Class A, no score yet between Jeff Jokerst of Ralston and Tyrone Martinez of Papillion La Vista.
Kris Mays has turned things around in Class D. He's extended his He's come back from behind a 5-0 deficit. Now he leads 6-5. An escape there by Bowers will tie it up 6-6.
That match has just been unbelievable. It was a 5-0 lead for Bowers, and then, as you mentioned, Mays goes up 6-5 and now tied at 6-6. No score yet in Class B between Stutzman and Ledesma. We have a 1-0 score now in Class A as Tyrone Martinez leads it 1-0 in Class A over Jeff Jokerst. And in Class C, it is a 5-0 lead for Glyn Schopen of Bennington over Joe Strode of Lincoln Christian. And now Bowers trying to get the throw, but Mays able to slip out, and he gets the throw and gets the 2-point takedown. And now an escape for Bowers.
No near fall points in that situation. We've got if the score is correct, it's 8-7 in favor of Kris Mays in Class D. 8-7.
Well, Bowers had the throw and then missed it, and then so Mays got the 2-point takedown and almost got the back points, but Bowers slipped out and got the escape. So that is turning out to be an outstanding match between Bowers of Winside, again in the red with white striped singlet, and Kris Mays, solid black with the red trim.
Both of those wrestlers also very experienced down here at Lincoln in the state tournament. Again, like we said, Kris Mays, a 4-time medalist, working on his 3rd state title. Justin Bowers placed 2nd back in '95 and 5th last year as a sophomore. He's just a junior now, wrestling against Kris Mays, the senior from Amherst.
Martinez really trying to get the takedown in Class A. Very close to getting a takedown. Martinez leading it 1-0 over Jeff Jokerst of Ralston. And Martinez can't quite get around to get the 2 points, and now they've called the stalemate. Meanwhile, in Class B, still no score between Levi Stutzman of Schuyler and Joe Ledesma of Boys Town. Those two having quite a match against Stutzman to defend as a state champion, returning state champion. He won it last year at 112 pounds, and he's unbeaten this year, but he's having quite a time right now with Joe Ledesma of Boys Town. And in Class C, it's a 5-0 lead for Glyn Schopen of Bennington over Joe Strode of Lincoln Christian.
Kris Mays is another takedown for Kris Mays. He extends his lead to 10-7 over Justin Bowers after being behind 5-0 early. He's come back a long ways. It's 2-0 now in favor of Joe Ledesma. I think we've got a question on the scoring.
Overtime, Nebraska 74, Iowa State 69.
Now we're starting the 3rd period. Starting the 3rd period in Class A, Tyrone Martinez ahead 2-0 over Jeff Jokerst of Ralston. One thing to keep an eye on, Jokerst has been out basically not out, but he was injured the last couple weeks and hasn't done a whole lot of wrestling, so conditioning might be a factor in that match.
Again, it's 2-1 now in Class B with Ledesma with that 1-point lead over Levi Stutzman. In Class A, it's a 2-0 lead for Tyrone Martinez of Papillion La Vista over Jeff Jokerst of Ralston.
Glyn Schopen has extended his lead to 5-0 in Class C. Glyn Schopen of Bennington. It's the end of the 2nd period. He'll hold on to a 5-0 lead. There's a warning for stalling in Class B against Joe Ledesma. I don't believe there's been any warnings earlier, so no points awarded. They're gonna check it out at the table. I believe that is.
In Class D, it is now 12-9. Kris Mays leading Justin Bowers. Mays from Amherst, Bowers from Winside.
Now he's got Bowers in trouble on the edge.
So Mays now trying to return the favor that Bowers had him in the 1st period, and it looks like Mays is going to get the pin. Boy, he's really close, and there's a whole minute left to go here in the 3rd period.
Yeah.
A lot of time. I think this one's over, but the shouting.
There it is. The 3rd state title for Kris Mays.
Boy.
The first of the 4 men we were watching to see if they were able to win that 3rd title. Kris Mays of Amherst, able to do it in Class D at 125 pounds.
And again, Mays placed 2nd 1 year. That was 2 years ago when he lost to Eric Allgood of Bennington. And so that was, otherwise he'd have been a 4-time state champ. So he's been to the finals 4 years, and he had to really come from behind. He was almost pinned in the 1st period. Justin Bowers just about had him. But Bowers, a junior, will finish at 31-2, and he'll have a shot at it again next year.
Extremely impressive comeback by Kris Mays of Amherst. Tyrone Martinez in Class A still holding on to a 2-1 lead. 19 seconds to go in that 3rd period. Unless something happens here, I don't think Jokerst is going to be able to get out. We're down to 10 seconds.
Martinez just now trying to hang on. Meanwhile, in Class B, it is a 3-2 lead for Levi Stutzman of Schuyler. Has now come from behind to take the lead in that match over Joe Ledesma of Boys Town. So Stutzman, who was a state champion a year ago, state runner-up 2 years ago, showing why he was unbeaten this year.
And there's the first title for Tyrone Martinez after placing third twice his freshman and sophomore year. Finally able to do it his senior year with a 2-1 victory over Jeff Jokerst, avenging his only loss of the year. Tyrone Martinez. There's a takedown for Joe Ledesma on the edge. That extends his lead to 4-3 over the returning state champ Levi Stutzman. 31 seconds to go in that match. We might see overtime if we get an escape.
34 seconds, all that remains in Class C, and it does appear that Glyn Schopen of Bennington is going to win the state title there with a comfortable 7-0 lead over Joe Strode of Lincoln Christian.
He's wrestled an outstanding tournament as well. 2 falls in the first 2 rounds and 16-4 major decision in the semis last night. So he's handled all of his opponents very well.
So in Class B, still an exciting match there with 20 seconds to go. As Ledesma trying to hold on. He's in the blue singlet, trying to hold on and prevent the escape with 13 seconds left to go.
He's also got Ledesma's got to be careful because he has been called for stalling. Another stalling call would tie it up. There's 13 seconds to go. This is going to be exciting. Stutzman back to his feet, trying to work and get that escape. And there's that wasn't a stalling. That was a technical violation against Ledesma. Apparently for running Stutzman off the mat. The official felt that Ledesma was running him off the mat in order to avoid being scored on. That's an automatic 1-point penalty. That ties it up 4-4 with 7 seconds to go. A lot can happen in that 7 seconds, Steve.
And you can see, of course, I think anytime you get a call like that, some coaches will question that. And there's the end of the match in Class C. And your state champion, Glyn Schopen of Bennington. A 27-4 senior finishing out his career with the state title. Well deserved as he defeats Joe Strode of Lincoln Christian by a final of 7-0.
Looks like we've got overtime. Ledesma able to hold on those last 7 seconds in Class B. We've got overtime, sudden death, 2 minutes, first wrestler to score wins. However, the stalling calls do carry over into overtime, so Ledesma cannot sit back. He's got to stay the aggressor in this match.
Souvenir shirts and caps remain on sale. They'll be on sale until 5.
Again, this is #1 versus #2 as far as the ranked wrestlers coming in. As we said, Stutzman, a champion a year ago, state runner-up. Ledesma has placed 3rd and 6th in the state tournament, so both have a lot of experience. Both are juniors and certainly could meet in the future as well. I'm sure with the way this match ended, there'll be a little bit of a rivalry developing between these two. As
I'm sure they've seen each other once already this year, and they'll probably be seeing each other a little bit more next year since they're both just juniors.
Again, Ledesma from Boys Town. He's in the blue singlet. Levi Stutzman of Schuyler in the black singlet. Here in Class B at 125 pounds.
There's a body lock by Ledesma. No points yet. There's a takedown and a state title for Joe Ledesma of Boys Town. So, three-time medalist here at the state tournament. Joe Ledesma has medaled in every tournament he's wrestled in over the last 3 years.
And Ledesma has to be very happy with that, because when you get called for a penalty that close into the match, you feel really disappointed, and you hate to see him lose a match that way. And he's certainly well-deserved as he knocks off a previous state champion, Levi Stutzman of Schuyler. And again, they're both juniors. They could be back. So quite a match. Our first overtime match here in the championship finals. We're at 125 pounds. 130 is coming up next. Let's take a look now at 125-pound champions in Class A. Tyrone Martinez, Papillion La Vista, the state champ, with a 2-1 decision over Jeff Jokerst of Ralston. In Class B, it's Joe Ledesma, Boys Town, a 6-4 overtime decision winner over Levi Stutzman of Schuyler. In Class C, Glyn Schopen Bennington wins it 7-0 over Joe Strode of Lincoln Christian. And your state champion in Class D, 3-time state champion Kris of Amherst, wins by pin over Justin Bowers of Winside. And again, Amherst, probably one of the outstanding wrestlers in the state meet. Let's set up the champion.